start again. It's a rich thing.
What's going on, everybody? It's the Bull Show, aka Aiden, and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to be discussing the update about Nikola Vucevic and the fact that the Chicago Bulls are interested in signing him on for another 3 seasons. A 3-season extension, ladies and gentlemen. Bit of an interesting topic of discussion, and ideally, I've said in the past I have a problem with this, and I guess I will discuss my problem with that in this video. Before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Bull Show, turn notifications on, and let me know in the comments below your thoughts about whether or not you think Nikola Vucevic deserves a 3-year extension. Now, I mentioned a video a couple of days ago about Nikola Vucevic and the fact that contract negotiations have begun to open up about the whole situation with Vucevic. And I said, I don't necessarily have a problem with Vucevic, I guess, having that contract open negotiation. It was always going to happen. But if it was an ideal situation, Vucevic would be taking a team-friendly deal and it would be a short-term deal. Now, short term for me was 2 seasons. I said 3 seasons might be, it could be an okay situation, but it's something that I wouldn't do. And that seems to be the way the Chicago Bulls are heading down. And I want to discuss the problems with that. But first and foremost, you know, Vucevic again is a guy that I don't think is our big problem. I think our biggest problem lies in how the team is structured. I think the biggest problems with the Bulls is the fact that we don't have a point guard that can maybe bring things together. The coaching, I think, is a big problem. Maybe our core is a problem as well, but I don't think Vucevic is the biggest problem that we have to deal with. And ultimately, if we do let go of Vucevic this season and we don't sign him in the offseason, we are still financially restricted to the point we're not going to be signing a superstar in free agency. You know, that money that we won't bring back with Vucevic, we're probably going to use to keep all the other guys on this team, plus signing a new additional center. That's the problem that we have to deal with this season, and it's kind of why I'm open to keeping Vucevic up until next offseason when DeMar is an unrestricted free agent and Vucevic could have been an unrestricted free agent as well. But signing Vucevic on for 3 seasons could be a problem, and here's why. One, the whole conversation about a pay rise. Again, there was talks that Vucevic may ask for a pay rise in contract negotiations because he played all 82 games. Well, if he's going to get a pay rise on a long-term deal, I have a problem with that because that makes our financial situation worse, and worse than it is now. That's a problem for me. I do not want to see Vucevic on a pay rise. You know, giving him the same type of money, 22 million-ish, I'm okay with that. Getting a team-friendly deal, I'm obviously okay with that. But getting him a pay rise, look, if he's getting paid anywhere more than 25 million this season, I have a problem with that. And I do not want to see that happen. And I'd be an advocate of letting Vucevic go for nothing over giving Vucevic 25, 26 million a season. He's not that level in my opinion. And the fact that he's going to be on that for 3 seasons is a problem. But, you know, 3 seasons could be an ideal situation if we're doing a sign and trade for Vucevic, because again, the team that wants Vucevic or the team that Vucevic wants to go to, it could be an ideal situation in the sense that they're getting that player on a longer term deal. But for the Bulls, a team that is open to interpretation right now, a team that we don't know will be successful next season or not, a team that ideally people want to move on from in many ways, even though it has only been 2 seasons with this current team, people are already sick of it. In that type of situation, 3 seasons, in my opinion, is just not ideal for the Bulls. And that's where my biggest problem lies. So look, if I was the Chicago Bulls front office and I was talking about contract negotiations with Nikola Vucevic, I would say, same amount of money, shorter term deal. There's no future in the Chicago Bulls at the moment that we are aware of. We do not want to keep you any longer than you need to be here. Stuff like that. You know, we can't promise you a successful season with the Chicago Bulls because, let's be honest, we can't. We can't promise anybody that we're going to win a championship next season or that we're going to contend next season. I understand that's their ambition, and I give all the respect in the world for them trying to keep finding a ways to compete. But in the end, with Vucevic, you have to keep your mind open to the fact that we might not be good enough if you bring back Vucevic. We might not be good enough if you make deals outside of Vucevic and you keep Vucevic as well. So I don't want to keep a player longer than they need to be here. Now, with 3 seasons, again, you can still trade Vucevic, but if you're giving him that pay rise, who's going to want to take Nikola Vucevic for 26 million, 25 million a season? You know, there's a question mark on that. So if you give Vucevic the same contract that he's currently on, more people will be willing to trade for Vucevic compared to giving him that pay rise. So look, 3 years is a problem for me, but another problem is if he's going to get that pay rise on a 3-year deal, because then it's going to be very hard to trade Nikola Vucevic in the future, and we may have to take on bad contracts just to get Nikola Vucevic away from this team. So we've got to be very, very mindful of that, but that's really all I'm going to talk about in this video. That's my problem with it. I don't want Vucevic getting that pay rise if he's here for 3 years, and if he does, then it's going to be very hard to trade him in the future if we need to trade him in the future. So I hope the Bulls are aware of that. I hope the Bulls are just not, I guess, falling to the demands of Vucevic every single time. I hope they're not just saying, yep, we'll give you whatever you want just to keep you here. I really hope the negotiations are actually a two-way street, where the Bulls explain the current situation with Nikola Vucevic, explain the future of the Bulls organization, explain that the team can basically change on any given time. I hope these things are really being open, I guess, open in talks with Vucevic, and I hope Vucevic in return is willing to maybe hopefully sacrifice some of that pay rise that he may get for the benefit of the Bulls in the future, and maybe even the benefit of him in the future. You know, Vucevic is up there in age and he's not even come close to a championship yet. How much time does he have left to spend on a Chicago Bulls team that might be mediocre? For his own sake, he might be willing to take a pay cut to leave this team sooner to go to a contending team if a contending team wants him. You got to be aware of these things, in my opinion. As a player, as an organization, business for yourself, business for the team. It might be, I think personally, it better suits both parties to take less money and go on a shorter term deal than what we're currently seeing with a potential pay rise and 3-year deal. You know what I mean? But that's just me, I guess. I could be stupid. It is what it is. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new. I'll see you in the next Chicago Bulls video. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay tuned for more. Take care and peace.